You're getting divorced, and you have some people saying that you have to have an attorney, other people saying, no, it's such a waste, do it yourself. What in the world are you supposed to do? It's okay to be confused. Let's talk about the role of the attorney in divorce. Welcome to Gavels Down, Voices Up, where we flip the script on conventional legal discussions. I'm Rachel King, here to guide you through the murky waters of family law, estate conflicts, inheritance disputes, all of the dramas. We're not just talking about law, we're talking about how it affects your life, your rights, your future, and your money. From the courtroom to your living room, we bring you insights that matter. Dive into each episode ready to challenge, learn, and grow. Ready to change the dialogue? Let's begin. Gavels down, voices up. In today's episode, we're going to talk about not just what the attorney does in a divorce case, but also the benefits and the potential drawbacks. Or maybe we stay away from the word drawback and we look at the reasons where you may consider going at it. First, what do attorneys in court or family law divorce do? Well, at most basic level, an attorney can give you legal advice. We are the only people that can give you legal advice, and we are the only people that can appear as your representative in court. Sure, you can bring your friends along for moral support, but they're not going to be able to speak on your behalf. Only attorneys get to do that. So what's the difference between legal advice and legal information? Well, legal information is general information that is just true. For example, it's general information that in California, the soonest you can be divorced is 6 months from the date that the other party was served. It doesn't matter whether it's you or your cousin or your friend, anybody that's getting divorced in California, this rule applies for. And that's why it's general legal information. Another general legal information is that if you have children of the marriage, minor children that are both your spouse's and yours, created during the marriage, and they are still minors, the divorce judgment must include some kind of custody, visitation, and child support. This is true, again, no matter who you are, as long as you have children that are of the marriage and are minors. Generally applies to all people in that circumstance. So when we're looking at legal advice, we're looking at taking that legal information and pairing it with your specific situation. So maybe in California, you had a child with your now husband, but your child was born prior to you guys getting legally married. And now you're getting divorced. Your child is still a minor, but are they of the marriage? Because they were born prior to the marriage. Well, this application is specific to you. The answer would be different from one person to the next on whether that child or your child is of the marriage. And so when we're taking legal information and coupling it with your specific facts to give advice, so for example, in that case, very likely the child is of the marriage, we would have the court recognize the child as part of the marriage, even though they were born before. And so we do need to address it in the divorce proceedings. I just took the general information, took what you told me about your case, and I gave you the advice. And so that is legal advice. Nobody else can do it. Paralegals can't do it. Your friends can't do it. That barroom, what are they called? The jailbird lawyer, they can't do it. When you are going through a divorce, or I'll even say a contested custody battle, maybe even any legal proceeding at all, the best thing that you can do is get legal advice. Talk to an attorney, an expert that is able to give you the information paired with your situation and the advice that you're looking for to answer your specific questions about what could happen, what is going to happen, what do I need to be aware of, what should I watch out for, should I fight for that, am I entitled to that, am I not entitled to that, am I going to be screwed, am I going to win? All of that you're going to get through legal advice. Now, this doesn't mean you need to have an attorney on retainer and have them help you with the whole thing, though there are some benefits to that we'll talk about in a bit. But at the very minimum, no matter what proceeding you are in, whether it's the beginning, before, middle, or even near the end, maybe even after, and you're looking at what the effects of different decisions are, you want to at least get some kind of legal advice through a consultation, a meeting, whatever you're looking for, so that you can tell an attorney, this is what's going on, and then you can get your specific answers to questions. This means that you shouldn't necessarily rely on the person that you met on Facebook or your friend that went through a divorce last year or your brother or your mom or any of the other people. The paralegal that's preparing your paperwork, they all have different insight. And that doesn't mean that you can't consider their insight, but they're all also giving you information based on their specific situation, what happened in their case, and their lens. They're deciding what's important to you. So it can't be legal advice. It's not legal advice. And so it's important to get legal advice. Hands down, the best thing that an attorney can do for you in divorce and the best thing you can do for yourself in a divorce is talk to an attorney to find out what your legal rights are and get all of your questions answered specific to you. Outside of that, the involvement in an attorney is really up to you. There are different attorneys, of course, we know. In every field, there's good and there's bad, and it is no different when you're hiring an attorney. But a divorce is really stressful. And just like I say, you should have a therapist that can help you with the tools and ways to handle the emotional turbulence of a divorce. An attorney can help you guide through how to handle situations so that they will be the most advantageous to you in the event that you are ultimately going in front of a judge. And here's the thing. Even if you are totally in agreement on issues, your divorce still has to go through the court because it's the court that grants the actual divorce. Even if you're getting along now and everything is in agreement, you want to be making decisions, at least to a certain level, to prepare yourself in case the agreement falls through and you do find yourself in a situation where the judge is being relied on to make a decision. So you've set yourself up in the best possible light. So having ongoing representation can help answer those questions. I didn't get child support for the last 2 months. Should I go in and file contempt? I know we have trial coming up. How do we handle that? My ex was 15 minutes late to visitation and I didn't get a phone call until 13 minutes before visitation, so I'd already left. What do I do? All of these situations are ongoing questions that are likely to arise during the course of a divorce proceeding, and having that ongoing advice can be really helpful with how you decide to move forward. Another thing that a divorce lawyer can do, and only a lawyer can do, is can appear in court. And let's face it, even for the best of us, even some of the most experienced attorneys that I know still get stressed out in court. I rarely get stressed out in court anymore, probably because I love it. It's like my favorite thing. But it doesn't matter how experienced you are. It's always possible to get shaken when you're in divorce and in court. Now you add on that it's your life, it's your family, it's decisions that's going to affect your future. In a very stressful environment, it is no surprise that you've got the jitters. Maybe you can't even function. Maybe you're having physical reactions to having to be in court. In those cases, it can be really helpful to have an attorney present with you because they're doing most of the speaking. You are not. So you aren't presenting well, they can present for you. Having an attorney by your side can reduce your stress level, which can make your proceedings a little bit more comfortable. I've also had clients that really present poorly. I mean, they are like the shit of the presenters. Even when they're right, even when they're on the right side of the case, I look at them and I think, oh my gosh, you are going to ruin your case because even though you're telling the truth, you're coming across as really unreliable. In those cases, it can also be helpful to have an attorney. Why? Because the attorney can be, your voice can speak for you in court. Obviously not testifying, you have to get up and testify, but they can help you with that too. Guide you through the process, really give you the confidence, not only to be there, but help you present the best way possible so that you don't lose credibility the moment you walk up to the table and say, hi, Your Honor. But let's talk about a story. Let's take a quick break. If you're navigating the twists and turns of divorce, you might be wondering, getting divorced, now what? That's actually the title of my upcoming book, designed to guide you through the challenging and emotional process of divorce. It's packed with real-life stories, expert tips, and motivational insights to empower you every step of the way. While it's not available just yet, you can join the waitlist to make sure you don't miss out. Head over to rachelkingattorney.com to sign up to be the first to get a copy and enter to win a free signed copy as soon as it releases. Arm yourself with the knowledge to move forward confidently through this challenging time. Now let's get back to the show. I had a call from a potential client who said, I had trial 2 weeks ago. The court took everything under submission. That's where the court hears all of the evidence but doesn't make an oral ruling. Says, I'm going to write it all down and I'll send it to you. So the court took the whole trial under submission, said they would send out the order, and did send out the order. And when this person got the order, they were floored. They had completely lost. They didn't know why they lost. They didn't understand that the court didn't consider their evidence or considered it very poorly. They were just a mess. And they called me and they said, I need to appeal. I need to do all of these things. Well, after explaining to them that in an appeal, you don't get to bring in new evidence, that's not how an appeal works, it really came down to this. This person waited a day late and $1 short. They'd already been in court for 2 years. They'd gone through the entire process, lots of hearings, lots of motions. They'd had their time in trial where they could say their story, or they could show why other party was full of garbage. They could tell the court what they wanted and why. They went through that entire thing. They got the order and they didn't like the order, and then they wanted to start participating. And in that particular case, I really didn't think that they had a leg to stand on as far as what they could do. I couldn't find any good faith procedural mechanism that would get them back in front of the court to retell their story. So they were kind of stuck with the order that they'd had. Had they hired an attorney at any point almost up until the day of trial, they would have had a better chance of getting through the proceedings, in trial, getting the evidence before the court that needed to get before the court, telling their side, and even better, saying why the other side was lying. How all of the financial numbers that the other side had presented were completely fabricated and without basis. This person didn't even testify at the trial because they didn't know how to testify or what would be said. So basically, the only thing that they said at trial was, I just don't even know what to give the court. The court's not accepting it, and I'm just going to lose. Well, that didn't provide the court any information. Literally nothing. So at the end of the day, the court took the information that it had, made its ruling, and this person lost. If they'd had an attorney, they would have had guidance throughout, and they would have had an expert that could package their story and present it in a way that would allow for the court to consider it. Sure, you know your case better than anybody else. You know the details of the marriage. You know all of how the household worked. You know about your relationship with your ex. You know about the kids' relationship with your ex or their parent. You know all of the tics. You know everything that was going right. You know everything that was going wrong. Maybe you know that they wrote off things they shouldn't write in the taxes. Maybe you were the one that was doing wrong. You know all of the details. So it is important that those details get told to the court. As an attorney, I don't know the details. I will never know all the intricacies of the relationship. So you need to be able to get the details in front of the court. The attorney, we're the experts on how to get that information in front of the court. A good attorney understands the rules of evidence, knows how to tell a story, and can really be able to say, well, you know what, you're super biased because you're the other party. So of course you're going to say this guy was an asshole or you were wronged. But we need to do better. We need to find these other ways of proving exactly what you're saying by video or text or pictures or other witness testimony. That's what your attorney will do for you. And if you're sitting here thinking, well, I'm not going to go to trial because I don't want to and we're getting along, that is great. And I hope you don't. And I will actually say that I think family law really shouldn't go to trial. It is so easy to reach an agreement that's going to work with you if you get rid of a lot of the things that aren't even considered. Now, getting rid of them, like the emotions, is a real challenge. I get it. That's, again, why you get the therapist. When you think you're not going to trial, that's fine, but you want to prepare in case you are. Also, the more you prepare for trial, one, you'll be ready if you end up there, but two, you're more likely to settle in a way that's going to be advantageous to you. Why? Because you have all of your ducks in a row, and you can basically go to the other party and say, hey, you better agree to this much spousal support or child support because I have all of these things, and if you don't, here is what is going to happen. So it sets yourself up for success. All of these things are what attorneys can do for you. Having an attorney can be amazing. We are experts. We can act on your behalf. We know the rules of evidence. We're going to be by your side, getting you as close to your goals as possible so you can feel the win. But at the same time, some attorneys are really crappy, right? The Better Call Sauls of us all. Some of the things that you want to watch out for when you're looking for an attorney, especially in a divorce. One, can you afford an attorney? You are not entitled to one. So you want to make sure that as you move through the legal process, especially getting an attorney, it's something that is financially beneficial, or it works out for you, or there's some reason that you're spending all of this money on an attorney. Two, you want to trust your attorney. You want to make sure that you're hiring an attorney that you believe in. Why spend all of this money if you're not even going to listen to or believe anything that your attorney says? If you even find yourself in that situation during representation, time to kick that attorney to the curb and get a new one. And three, I don't want to say the most important, but it sort of goes along with the other ones, is you want to have an attorney that is able to have candid conversations with you. Ask your attorney the weaknesses in your case. It's easy as an attorney to look and see all of the great parts of our client's case. It's a whole lot harder to look at it and say, here's the weakness. You want your attorney to be able to look at your case and give you the weakness, and then have the courage to tell you what the weaknesses are so that you can make a decision on how you want to move forward. Is that a battle you want to fight, or is it not? 3 things that you need to watch for when you get an attorney: how much they cost, do you trust them, and can they tell you the bad? The good and the better and the best, that's the easy stuff. It's the bad that you want your attorney to tell you in advance. And quite frankly, if you are getting along with your ex, my goodness, and you guys can reach agreements, hands down, do it. Still go and talk to the attorney to get your legal advice so you know whether the agreement is going to work. Ultimately, even if you are reaching an agreement that goes against the law, by way, I mean, maybe you're waiving spousal support when you would otherwise be entitled to it, that doesn't matter. If you're comfortable with the agreement, reach it. But you at least want to know what your rights were so you're not making agreements without the entire picture. So even if you are in agreement, still go talk to an attorney. But goodness, if you are in agreement, like, who needs an attorney except maybe to draft the paperwork? Even there, I'd say pop on over to the self-help clinics in the courthouses and see if somebody can help you draw up paperwork. Attorneys are great. My goodness, I am one. I wouldn't change my career forever. We can help problem solve. We can help give you confidence, and we can help you get to the end of one of the most stressful situations in your life. But we're not always necessary. Don't tell anybody, though. I still need to pay my bills. If you are going through a divorce, or somebody you know is going through a divorce, you are going to be inundated with advice, and that's okay. But make sure you get out and find an expert in your field. In California, we have California certified specialists in family law. Maybe hit up one of them to find out what you need, what's going on in your case, and then you'll be able to decide, do I need an attorney, or do I have this on my own? My name's Rachel King. This is all about attorneys and divorce. Until next time. That wraps up another episode of Gavels Down, Voices Up. If you found value in our discussion today, please subscribe, leave a review, and share with someone who needs these insights. Your engagement helps us grow and impact more lives. I'm Rachel King, thanking you for listening and reminding you to speak up, because every voice deserves to be heard.